Hey, how's it going, everyone? This is Freddie. I know it's been forever since I posted a video. I do have to apologize. I was really busy for like February and March for the most part with work, as well as I got married in March, so that took up a lot of time. As you can see, the ring, ding, ding, ding. But here we are. We're back in the studio. I picked up a couple new toys from the time I last posted a video, and I just kind of want to show you how I incorporated in that track that I just posted on my SoundCloud. You can go to soundcloud.com/Freddie Joachim and you'll hear this beat. But I'll just basically just break down kind of how I utilize some effects and tools within this beat, just kind of like a little breakdown. If you can see right here, this little unit right here, this is the Expressive E Touche. It's called the Touche. It's by a company called Expressive E, and it's basically an expression pedal, like a fancy kind of expression pedal, which you can kind of use to, I guess, kind of bend certain frequencies if you're using like a hardware synth or a modular synth or something like that, as well as you can use this to control soft synths on your computer. Right now, I have this kind of hooked up into Ableton, and I'm controlling a strings VST that's also by Expressive. Here, this is kind of what it sounds like. So when I'm pushing on the keys, nothing happens. You can kind of see. But then when I slide my fingers across this top portion, it'll create some sounds here. So here it is, nothing. But then when you slide it, so you can do some cool things, or kind of like, since I'm not a violinist or any kind of like a cellist or anything like that, I can kind of play the keys, and then you can kind of mold something like strings to sound a little bit more organic rather than just like like a sound on like a synth to make it sound a little cheesy. This kind of makes it sound a little bit like a violinist or a cellist would be playing a. So it has like four directions where this thing can kind of bend. You can go like side to side or up and down. Basically, you can kind of press it. So it has some cool presets in it, like the VST itself. Here, I'll go ahead and switch over to the computer view so you can kind of see. Okay, so here we are in Ableton. The VST itself, let me just open it up here. This is basically the interface that comes with the hardware. And it has some preset like synths and sounds for you to kind of use. The violin that you're now hearing, this is like an expansion to this, so you have to purchase this separately, but I think it's well worth it. Yeah, some cool stuff. And if you can kind of see to the left here, these are all kind of like the sounds that it comes with. But yeah. And then you can also, with this little controller, or this pedal, you can, it has CV connectors in the back right here. So if you have like a modular synth or any kind of like hardware synthesizer, you can take the CV ins and outs of this and plug it into like a CV input on like a modular synth or a regular synth that accepts CV inputs, and you can control this without a computer, basically. It does have presets for some particular synths, like I think Kronos and a handful of like hardware synths, so you can download the presets directly from their website. So let's go ahead and just break this track down. It all started with a piano sample, which I'll kind of play out right here. Darn it. Yeah, just basically like just a chop. Here's how it sounds. Whoops. And I just added like some simple effects on here. And then like an auto filter, it kind of drops the frequency down. So it kind of, you have that kind of muted sound, basically. As well as I use RC20. It's kind of like one of my favorite plugins as far as mainly producers. I think I went over this, but mainly producers use this for like that lo-fi sound and like that really drastic lo-fi sound. But I use it pretty sparingly just to kind of create some kind of distortion in the sample. You can kind of hear that noise kind of effect, basically kind of like a record playing. And then it kind of has like a small wobble kind of warping effect, but it's really subtle. I don't use it really drastically. And then that like kind of like that vinyl stopping effect is I'm using Effectrix for that basically. Okay, let's go ahead and just add the drums to this. So the drums are pretty simple. I believe these are the drums. So it's just basically a kick and a rim shot. And then I'm adding delay to the rim shot. Yeah, so this is kind of what the drums sound like. And then I added some other like kind of percussive stuff. So here are the drums in total. Whoops, let's go to here. I think one other thing is added on here. So the drums are fairly simple. And this effect right here, this sound, you can hear it. I basically took some keys, like these, took some ordinary house keys, and I just recorded it like this. I mean, a lot of like producers do that shit. And then the bass line I just played on this keyboard right here, which is this. So let's hear it. And this is a pretty slow beat. It's at 80 BPM. I usually don't really do anything kind of below 85 for the most part. So this beat is pretty chill for the most part. It's like it's 80 BPM. Okay, and then I'm basically playing Contact here. So this is Native Instruments Contact, and I'm using the session horns on here. This is like an expansion you can purchase, and this is basically what it sounds like. So I just added some like effects to it, like a reverb and a delay, and I kind of just EQ'd it a little bit. So yeah, like I said, I'm not a trumpet player. So this is kind of like the next best thing as far as hiring a trumpet or a horn player. There's a few horns on here. This is like the Session Horns expansion. They actually have a Session Horns Expansion Pro, which gives you a little bit more control, as well as I believe you can just use one horn instrument at a time. But this one, the minimum is 2 horn instruments for the regular Sessions horns. This is an expansion, like I said, you can purchase from Native Instruments. It's not that expensive. The Session Horns Pro, I think it's incredibly expensive. It's like $500 or something like that. Of course, you're getting like really good quality, and you can do a lot more. But I just don't want to spend that much money on that. But it has some cool articulations that you can add onto it, like stuff like that. Yeah, but for this one, I kept it at soft sustain. And I mainly got this session horns expansion to go along with this. If you can, it's not really plugged in right now, but I have a breath controller basically, and it comes with basically a headset or a mouthpiece. So you would basically blow into this section right here, and then the breath controller kind of you can set it to certain parameters as far as expression goes, and you can kind of make it sound like what a real horn player would do. But I didn't use it for this one in particular. Okay, so this is basically what it sounds like with contact with the horns. And you can kind of see all the MIDI data right there in the pink. And I just kind of winged it. Usually I do this like one takes. Hopefully it comes. I practice a little bit before. I practice on the keys to see kind of what the vibe I want. And then I just go ahead and record it. If I make a mistake, I'll just re-record it. As close to a horn player as I can get to it, just using a MIDI controller. You know, just winging it more. But yeah. Can you see that? Let's do this so you can kind of see what the hell's happening. Yeah, that's basically all I'm playing. Okay, now we come to this controller that I just talked about in the beginning of the video, which is the Expressive Touche. So basically, I'm just using like a very small, I'm just doing like a tremolo kind of effect on here. So if you kind of like wobble this thing back and forth, you can see on the dialogue, you can kind of see how it's how it's wobbling back and forth like the pedal. So you can kind of do like cool tremolo kind of stuff on here. And that's basically what I'm doing on this track. I didn't really go ham on the strings. And that's basically what you're hearing in this track, this particular track. So here is that. Yeah, and that's basically all I'm doing. Yeah. So that comes in handy for something like this. Let me go ahead and turn on this, move this out of the way and turn this keyboard on. So I'm also playing some flutes in this, a flute synth. Is this playing out? And of course it's not playing out. Hold on, I gotta just do something on here real quick. There we go. 1 second, everyone, sorry. Okay. Okay, so what you're hearing here Let me just go ahead and play the chorus so you can hear everything. So all I'm doing on the keys on here is basically playing that, I believe. Let me see here how that sounds again. Sometimes I forget. Yeah, I'm just playing like a scale up. But the keyboard itself is actually hooked up to this effects pedal. It's by Zoom. I think I went over this before. It's the MS50G. It's kind of like a digital effects pedal. It has a bunch of effects on here. But you can chain effects on here, which is kind of cool. I kind of have some go-to effects on here. But basically, I'm running a delay on here, as well as this ensemble kind of like, it's like a chorus kind of effect. So those two on here, the keyboard's just running directly through that and then into the interface. And I'm just playing that basically. Here's what it sounds like without any of the effects on here. Here's with the delay. And here's with the ensemble. So it has like a more fuller sound. And I don't just run the this particular synth through this. So I have this this pedal hooked up to a patch bay, and then whatever I run through the input of that patch bay goes through here. So I can hook up various things to this. Mainly, I use a keyboard, so I can do effects in real time. And then I have a few like hardware synths, like more like kind of like your standard kind of modular types of synths that I also run through there for effects. So it's cool because like the Behringer Model D, as well as some other synths that I have, they don't have like onboard effects. So you can use something like an effects processor, like a pedal or, you know, like a rack mount processor to process effects if you needed to. And that's basically what you're hearing. See if we can kind of jam out with this part. So you can kind of just, you know, jam out with it. But that's pretty much it. That's like the whole track for the most part. You can listen to this track on my SoundCloud. I might push it to like Spotify and iTunes and stuff. I'm not too sure though. But yeah, that's kind of like a breakdown of this whole track. Let's go ahead and just play it from the beginning, and then I'll kind of talk over the outro of this video. I don't want to make it too long. But yeah, hopefully I have, since the wedding's over, as well as I finished up a bunch of work and I just had to tie up a bunch of loose ends and play catch up with work after the wedding. I'll have more time to sit down and show you more videos, because honestly, I haven't really been working on too much of my own stuff. Let me just turn that down. Like my own kind of personal stuff, because I just finished, we just wrapped up the album with Jakarta. It's called Beyond the Sea of Trees. It's coming out May 24th on Jakarta Records. We're going to come out with a couple singles beforehand, one later in this month and one in May, as well as we shot a video, not a music video, but kind of like a promo video for it. And it's coming out digitally as well as on vinyl, so it'd be great if you guys could support that album. Like I said, May 24th it comes out, Beyond the Sea of Trees on Jakarta Records. And, I'll be doing a lot more things coming up to the release of it. But yeah, like I said, I haven't really been working on any kind of just beats in general, personal stuff. I've been just working on work, as well as, just kind of small beats in here and there. But I have a few beats that I've made on the MPC, as well as on Ableton, that I will share with you guys soon. Just, just personal kind of one-offs for beats. And go ahead and keep subscribing to this channel if you like, and you can follow me on SoundCloud, as well as like Spotify and Bandcamp and Instagram and Facebook and all the social media sites. I also have an audio podcast called Fredcast, and you can find that on iTunes and Spotify and SoundCloud and Stitcher, wherever you listen to podcasts. I'll have more guests on the podcast, since I've found it a way to have guests without them physically being in the studio with me. And we'll kind of just chop shop. Yeah, is that right? Talk shop. Chop shop? Talk shop. With some of my friends and producers and stuff like that. But thanks again for tuning into this little video. I just kind of showed you how I broke down the latest track on my SoundCloud. You can go ahead and go on there and listen to it. All right, guys, thanks again. And sorry, I'll break down this little controller for everybody in a later video, because I kind of want to go over like the expression, the touche, as well as the breath controller. Okay, peace.